When I was young, and I was before I was injured, I was so fast. It might have been before I was injured. I think so. Might have been immediately after I was injured, and I wasn't yet completely. I hadn't fallen apart completely after. It took me like 25 years to fall apart into a shabby mess, but maybe it was immediately after I was injured. I started building my upper body strength. I had hands that were so fast. I was like the pistons of an engine. It was so fast. I was like, it was phenomenal how fast my hands could move. But I completely lost my speed and my metabolism got slow. I looked so old and feeble. So I was trying to get some consolation after being defeated by a coalition of evil, waiting so many years, like a Komodo dragon waiting for its prey to die of infection or to be disabled by infection before the battle begins. They bite the Komodo dragon sneaks up and bites the ankle of a deer, and then follows it around the island, waiting for the deer to be sick and unable to escape. And so they waited like 20 years to schedule some fights for me. They waited like 20 to 20. It was like 20 years or more after the ankle injury. They're like, all right, just take out his ankle, and he's going to start to decompose. His body's going to start to decompose from lack of ability to maintain his fast metabolism. He can't run after his ankle is injured, and it will just wait. They'll just wait and wait and wait 20 years or more, and then schedule some fights for me after that. Pathetic. So after that, I was trying to get some consolation, trying to show my, wishing for my buddy Will Bates to witness my faded glory. But I didn't have fast hands anymore. I was like, I used to be a great fighter, well, could have been. Anyway, I was ready. I was primed to be, but then they took out my ankle. It was a council decision, I believe. They took out my ankle, and then they waited all these years for my body to turn into a big shabby mess. Anyway, I was trying to show my buddy Will Bates the faded glory of how I once had fast hands like the pistons of an engine, but they weren't fast anymore. And I don't know if he misinterpreted that, but I was wishing for some sympathy because I was trying to tell him about a horrible fight with a little pugnacious guy who he had been coached he was selected to attack me on a certain schedule after I had been kept on my feet and kept from fatigued for like 12 hours or something late at night. They set me and put me in jail, and he was really had a bad attitude, and they had been baiting me into confrontations again and again, and I wasn't managing my stress properly, so I would always get drawn out into conflict. So anyway, I was really unhappy about that, and I'm still looking for revenge on the men of the African American society. I'm looking for who do I get revenge on? Was that Barack Obama? Is Barack Obama even a man? Is he a woman? Is he a female? Maybe. And so I'm looking for, of course I know Samuel has an African American identity. Samuel's like the most evil African American man in America, but he switches from African American identity to a white Caucasian identity to a Pacific Asian identity. He's like a shifting around as it is convenient for him. But his most toxic, evil, malicious, it's really hard to say. He's got a Jewish Caucasian identity. He's got a white man identity. He's got a Native American identity. He's got an African American identity, and they're all vicious, like an intersectional activist who's like purely motivated by hate. Samuel's like the worst human being that I'm aware of, one of the very worst. So I know he's evil, and so I'm trying to look among Samuel Gaskin's supporters for the African American men who are the most evil and who are the most motivated to be evil, who I should blame and who I should seek revenge on them and say, try to feminize them, try to get a council approval, majority public opinion approval in the court of public opinion that they should be feminized, they should be deprived, they should be humiliated, they should be ostracized by females, and they should be under a siege of extra male competition, and just give them a miserable future. I don't know which ones are the ones to blame, and I'm still trying to investigate this to find out who are the worst of the leaders of the African American men, who are the most malicious and the most deserving to suffer revenge. All right, that's all for this video.